So I'm going to continue on with my Captain Marvel collection and showing it off. This one is Captain Marvel number 85 from June 1948. Cream to off-white pages, has an Otto Binder story CC Beck cover, and there is a big stamp on the front. And I don't think that stamp actually harmed the value at all. I know that may seem surprising. This is a Crowley copy. My other comic, it kind of set it up here. They've moved it. CGC sometimes changes how they do things. So this one actually came with a certificate. This document certifies that Captain Marvel 85 is from the collection of Wendell Crowley, the former, I thought it was William Crowley. Crowley saved approximately 2 copies of each book published for the Fawcett Companies. The collection was purchased by Baccarat Moulif of Nostalgic. Okay, but I have it now. Now this is, as far as I know, that's the only one I have. The only certification. Although this is basically certifying it up here, so this is a little bit redundant. But I don't know if they started doing this later or if they just weren't passing it on. So I don't know. I would think that somebody who went out and got a certification would pass it on, but I believe that's why this has the stamp on it, because it was a file copy. But again, I don't think that being a Crowley copy helped or hurt the value of it. In 85, there are, so it's just a little bit of information. So the CGC grading started as an attempt to preserve comics, particularly Golden Age and Silver Age comics, and then inevitably and quickly moved into speculation and investment. And I don't really care. People could do what they want to do, and but in this case, so issue 85 has 31 graded comics total. 31. Of those graded, there's one 9.4. There are 2 9.2s, and there are 4 8.5. So I have one of the 8.5s, and mine is a Crowley copy. Now, just as a point of comparison, Amazing Spider-Man number 1 from the 1960s, the Silver Age one, has 3,567 graded copies. So obviously more people are going to want to... Spider-Man is a much more popular character, and more people are going to want to grade them. On the other hand, once people got an inkling that comics were collectible, then the number of high grade comics went up exponentially. I've seen comics, and I haven't really looked in, other than just recently, in over a decade. There are comics with over 10,000 graded, some 20,000, 30,000. So in that case, are you doing comic preservation? No, it's all about speculation and investment. Which again, okay, it's not a big deal to me. So this one is, it says here, Freedom Train Story, George Washington, John Hancock. This is part of, I believe where, maybe I'm wrong. There was a series where Captain Marvel was going around to different cities. This may be one of them. All right, so the next one I have is, let's see, number 99 from August 1949, Cream to Off-White Pages. This is another Crowley copy. I like this cover. Pretty neat cover. So again, they've kind of moved things around on here, so I don't know the order. It's not, the order in which these were done is obviously not in the order in which this was published. It's just, however, when the comics came in and they did the grading. And by the way, one of the other things that this CGC grading does is it kind of brings a level of stability or to grading. If you go out and you buy a comic book, say on eBay or an auction site, and it says this is a grade, well, that's subjective. This tries to take the subjectivity out of grading, and particularly so you don't end up buying a comic that's listed as graded 9.2 and turns out to be a 7.0. On the other hand, it is subjective even to these professionals, and people will pull them out of the cases and resubmit them hoping for a better grade. So yeah, there. I don't think you're ever going to see a 7.0 get graded as a 9.4, but you might see a 9.2 get resubmitted and come back as a 9.6. It's possible, and that's why people will do it. They also have a little hologram up there. This in this case, 99. There are 12 copies total that have been graded, and this is the highest grade. There is one 8.5. There are three 7.0. So even though this is not a particularly super high grade, it is the highest that's out there. And as I'm going through my comics, I'm discovering that I don't have nearly as many. Either I'm just getting bad luck, or there's not nearly as many highest grades as I used to have. So clearly, it looks like people have continued to get their comics graded, and some are better than mine. Because I used to have a ton of highest grades. So this is number 116. There is one 9.2 and three 9.0. So this is tied for second highest grade. We have Otto Binder story, Kurt Schaffenberger art, CC Beck cover and art, and this is white pages. So that's interesting. It's interesting because white pages is the highest, although this is a 9.0. So there must be some other issues in this other than the quality of the pages. The next one I have is Captain Marvel 44, which is from March 1945. Look at how old that is. That's a 9.2, and it features. Okay, so this is it's a printer error. It has a double cover on it. You can't see it because the cover would be underneath this cover, but that occasionally happened. So it says first cover is a 7.5. The interior cover is a 9.2, so I guess it gets a 9.2. So this cover maybe doesn't look the greatest, but I guess you could just tear it off and have a better cover. And this features the Monster Society of Evil, which was, I don't know how many issues, like 30 issues or something like that. They have collected it, but I don't think I ever actually read it. So Captain Marvel travels to other worlds. And the last one I'm going to show today is Captain Marvel number 89. This probably is an early one that was graded because it does not have a lot of information on it, particularly about what's on the interior. Off-white pages. This was published in October 1948, and it is another Crowley copy. And a pretty neat cover. Got Savannah on it. In this issue, Captain Marvel destroys Savannah's silent sound machine. So that is this one. I didn't mention the last one, but number 89 has one 9.6, one 9.4, and then one 9.2. So this is the third highest grade known. I'll come back to this one real quick. This one, number 44, has one 9.8. That is crazy high grade for a Golden Age. It has three 9.4s, and then mine is tied for fourth with four 9.2s. So fourth highest grade. And this one, he does visit Washington, D.C. This is one of the ones where he was traveling around to all sorts of different cities. So that's 5 more Captain Marvel, and I will be showing more over time.